Odin Lama Rinpoche, Dage Chewa Bemele, Kaden Jembe Gone Jizone, Kuzondo Jemwe. Odin Lama Rinpoche, Dage Chewa Bemele, Kaden Jembe Gone Jizone, Kuzondo Jemwe. Odin Lama Rinpoche, Dage Chewa Bemele. Kaden Jembe Gune Jizone, Guzondo Jemuro. Padin Zavalama Rumbache, Dage Jevar Bimele. Kaden Jembe Gune Jizone, Guzondo Jemuro. Namo Elaikadan Lodin Jigadu, the Manakanan and Rogan Jadaki Jizabotoji, Dage Jidan, Sayu, you metal and Jivadan, Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, people who are watching in a Zoom meeting. Everybody welcome to learn and then contemplating and then meditate. These three all go together. One of them is missing, then practice is not completed. Today our subject is Guru Rinpoche. So Guru Rinpoche text I would like to show. Text is very big and meaning is very big, and we may not able to handle it, but it's so big. So the text is big, the meaning is big, and blessing is big. And then our mind is big, our hearts are big, our practice bodhicitta is big, so all go together well. So I would like to read the of the book and sharing blessings with everybody. So it says, Pema Kateng Joksu, Pema Kateng Lotus life story of Guru Rinpoche, Lotus life story of Guru Rinpoche. Ojin Keto means language of Guru Rinpoche where he resides, Hlunup, Hlu, southwest, Hlunup. His language is as a Jagarketu, Ru, Asha Shakarana, Puketu, Guru Pema June, Jagarketu, the language of India, and Guru Pema June Jecherap, Guru Pema June Jecherap, number 1. Guru Pema June Jecherap means a life story of Guru Rinpoche. Dempa Ronjong Sanje Kunganjang. Everything is a truth, nothing but the truth. Ranjong, self-rising and self-appearing and self-existence itself. Sanjay Kunganjar said, now what we're talking about, the self-rising, self-existence is 5 body, 5 manifestation of Buddha. Of course, this time we're talking about Guru Rinpoche, Kunganjiang. Not so, many different ways that Guru Rinpoche, the Buddha, Guru Rinpoche show many different methods to liberate, to show the path of liberation to all sentient beings. So it is saying here is that the Buddha, Guru Rinpoche, fulfills wishes of all sentient beings if they ask for it. So is that when Durja Samba, Durja means devotees, Samba means the wish. Yonzu Zonzepa means completely fulfilled. If you know how to ask, if you know how to handle, if you know what you're talking about, then it will be fulfilled. But the majority practitioners, they don't know what they're wishing for. One thing. They may be wishing for happiness, but their motivation, their way of thinking, their way of understanding about happiness could be totally different than accordance with Buddha Dharma. Chenchu manga dorji kolandoi, chenchu manga dorji kolandoi, chenchu manga dorji kolandoi, no birth, no death, beyond birth and death. Bajra body, Bajra body appears to be like a Bajra. Bajra. The Bajra sometimes the connotation is like diamond. Bajra. Kungandu means a five manifestation of Buddha appears like a Bajra, like a diamond. Then it says, Lajam Mindaradang, Paramban Kala Siddhi. Lajam Mindarawa means Mindarawa is number one. I guess they didn't say number one. The important concert of Guru Rinpoche, Mindarawa. Paramban Kala Siddhi Tang, Parmu, Shakya Dewa Tang, Mumpu, Trahi, Chindre Tang, Pimi Yishin Soja, Yishin Soja, Hakor Yishin Soja, and Guru talks us about Pimi means these are the five Dakini, five females manifested into Dakinis to interact with the Buddha Guru Rinpoche. Guru Tolso Chönpa, these are the main five manifestations of Dakinis are mentioned in Guru Rinpoche's life story. Then it says, Mundur lechi khalo nam jurtan, mundur lechi khalo nam jurtan, kunjo son nepar chawane. Sentient beings, whoever connect with the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is in an ocean of samsara, you find diamond. Or most valuable, precious thing you find. Same like that. Meeting with the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, knowing Buddha, Dharma, Sangha exist, or even you have doubts the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, maybe they exist, maybe they don't exist. Just doubting, but still you projecting itself is your interacting with the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So it's almost lucky from lucky, almost impossible for you to come to contact with the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. You have to be super duper lucky and fortunate one to find the name of Buddha Dhamma Sangha. You may thinking about that's not difficult. I heard Buddha Dhamma Sangha all the time. But how you interpret it, how you hold the Buddha Dhamma Sangha in your mind might not be we are talking about here. We are talking about the deeper level, profound, much more profundity, much deeper level we're talking about, much more bigger picture we're talking about. And I want everybody to remember that, because I don't want you to say, I heard Buddha Dharma Sangha when I was 10 years old. Because it's not the hearing one time, is in what did you hear? How you interpret it? What did you do? Do you practice every day? These questions we need to ask ourselves. So then it says, Donga Tabden Shira New Buka. The Donga Tabden Shira New Butung is the essence of Sutra and essence of Vajrayana are the direct order or direct voice of Buddha Guru Rinpoche. Never Jowa Sangha Drupalang. Never Jurba Sangha Drupalang. Sangha is Vajrayana. Dengpa Kanchen Nipo Tungku Sar Ujin Guru Peman Junejo Kusong Tuyo Chenen Tarjepa Guru Rinpoche activity of his body, activity of his speech, activity of his manifestation, there is no boundary. One can go beyond the boundary. Kusong Tuyo Chenen Tarjepa. Namtar Tontra Kyotan Jata Namtar Guru Rinpoche life story. Namtar Tontra Kyo 10,099 types available. And guess what? We have only one text we are holding here. Maybe not even 1%. I don't know how you're with the Guru Rinpoche. I can't really make a decision. But it seems our connection is very non-existent or very not so clear, or maybe wishy-washy exists. Sometimes there, sometimes just disappear. So we need to check ourselves how the connection is. Namta tungta yudan jata gu. Jata gu is 900, I guess. Maung tandi tungta ku ne pa bes, and Guru Rinpoche put a lot of his teachings under the water, under the mountain, under the cloud, and under the space, and ask the elements, 4 elements, to keep that text until somebody asks for it. When somebody asks for it, then you give. So this is how lot of Guru Rinpoche texts are treasured and find in hidden places. So Maung Tamdi, Tamse Denpa means that those who has no broken samaya, commitment, vows with the Guru Rinpoche, they are the one who will hear Guru Rinpoche teaching. They are the one who will connect with Guru Rinpoche teaching. If you are If your vows broken, if your connection is broken, if you have doubt, if you misunderstood, you won't ever to connect with the Guru Rinpoche teaching. Period. Maung, Tandin, Tundukune. Only those vows are intact. I hide this text for you, and you will reveal after few kalpas or few million years, whatever time, when you're ready, it will reveal to you. Whoever discovered this text and whoever hear this teaching and whoever practice this teaching, they will accumulate the merit as well as the nyenda, means you become popular eye of Buddha's Guru Rinpoche. You become popular. Popular is not necessarily human way of popular is. Human way of popular is whoever can cheat and whoever can lie more, whoever can accumulate more money from other people's money, he or she become very popular, surrounded with a lot of friends. Nothing to do with the spiritual, according to Buddha Dharma, is everything what mundane world thing is good, is nothing other than samsara, is nothing other than pain and suffering by the end of everything. So it says, Guru Nanta Jedu Kantepa. There is a short form of Guru Rinpoche life story and medium size and then also short ones. Once you see it, once you hear it, once you develop devotion, stick with that and firmly. Whoever holds these teachings of the Guru Rinpoche, you are holding the doctrine of Dharma, Buddha Dharma, or Guru Rinpoche. One thing, Guru Rinpoche is manifest Tantric Vajrayana, Buddha is Guru Rinpoche, Sutra and Mahayana, Guru or Buddha is the Shakyamuni Buddha. Why these two manifest two different ways, but they are oneness and no separation. Need to remember that. Dusong Jemba Lopung Pemanjong. Dusong Jemba Lopung Pemanjong. Lami Sanjo Sanje Tetsumi. Anybody follow properly, practice properly, understand properly, no doubt they will become Buddha if you don't stop it. In other words, you go all the way. To some chamber, Lopun Pemanjong, Lopun means the great leader, spiritual leader. Pemanjong means Pemanjong, Guru Rinpoche name is a Pemanjong. To some chamber, he knows past, present, future as clear crystal. There is no filter, there is nothing can block him. Past, present, future. He sees all past Buddhas, he sees all future Buddhas, he sees all Buddhas in the present, clear crystal, clear crystal. And Lopung Pema, we call Lopung, the Badger Master Lopung Temanjong, Guru Rinpoche. So you the Turku Temanzeng, he manifested as a Turku Nirvana Kaya, and he holds the doctrine. He holds the Buddha Dharma completely and manifested as a Nirvana Kaya Turku. Nanju tapu lungu temba chong nanju tapu outer he holds the Buddha's doctrine, inner he holds the tantric doctrines nanju tapu, and he manifested in a Sambhogakaya form. If you know the Sambhogakaya is one. All Sambhogakaya are the manifestation of Buddha. And who is the Sambhogakaya? Amitabha, Tara, Jinezek, any Manjushiri, all Yadam practices Yadams are part of Sambhogakaya, part of Buddha's manifestation, Sambhogakaya. Buddha has three kayas, all five kayas into three kayas, called Dharmakaya. A Dharmakaya is the foundation of universe. Part of is the Buddha, Dharmakaya part of is. And then Sambhogakaya is anything appears in within the realm of emptiness of Dharmakaya is the Sambhogakaya, usually appears as a poem, as Yuriko said. Yuriko Vajrasattva will appear. Yuriko Tara appear to you. Yuriko Jineza appear to you. They are part of Sambhogakaya, part of Buddha's manifestation. And the Nirmanakaya goes into too detail, but just briefly, some that we know, they can tell where they're going to reincarnate, and some they know their past, present, future, and then they reincarnate again. That's a perfect Nirmanakaya. This is also part of one manifestation, one of the three manifestations of Buddha, Guru Rinpoche, that. So, Sujui Talpa, Turku Temba, Nanju Talpa, Lungu Temba, Sunju Talpa, Jezo Temba. Jezo is a development state and complex statement teachings are secret teaching of Guru Rinpoche. The followers will not even hear it, not even understand it, anything to do with it, nothing to do with it. But the lucky ones, fortunate ones, those who has a vows and those who has a samaya unbroken, and they have a connection with Guru Rinpoche, in this case Buddha Dharma Sangha, then they are the ones able to understand and put into practice the accomplished statement and the development stage of Dzogchen teaching, as well as a Mahamudra and Mahamudra Dzogchen are two different names, but one you fulfill, both you fulfill. No comparison, Guru Rinpoche. Basically, it is said that nobody can compare Guru Rinpoche. Is perhaps the Guru Rinpoche manifestation is what we know. After you read 108 chapters and volumes of Pema Kathang, this text, then you will know, or we will know, that Guru Rinpoche is everything covered with universe, completely. Nothing is missing, Guru Rinpoche. But this is something individual experience, and I have no even concept, no idea how I can guess. Do some thing kind do some 3 times and jitting kind. In this realm that where we are, no comparison and nothing can match with the Guru Rinpoche's activity, Guru Rinpoche blessing, Guru Rinpoche's the teachings. Yarva kala tsumi turkota, yarva kala tsumi turkota, Guru Rinpoche saying, no contradiction with all the teachings of 84,000 teachings of the Buddha Shakyamuni is my teaching. 84,000. I am Turkotagwa means renounced as a manifestation of Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Dharmakaya. All the faults are removed, all the qualities and knowledges and jewels are obtained, means the Guru Rinpoche. I fulfill all wishes of all sentient beings in the universe, only if you ask for it. So I think we will, this is the beginning section, is we're enough, and I want to recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra for everybody. Can you lead the Guru Rinpoche mantra? Can you do that?
Om Ahum Raja Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Ahum Raja Guru Pema Siddhi.
So so far we just talk or try to understand the overall Guru Rinpoche's activities in general and his life story. Pema Katheng is teachings and stories of Guru Rinpoche's so-called Sutra, Lotus Sutra. So now we are shipping from there to skipping some of the chapters, and we are going to chapter 8. And in chapter 8, how he holds the two different doctrines about Vajrayana and Mahayana, because Hinayana is a part of Mahayana. Actually, Vajrayana is also part of Mahayana. But sometimes when we separate it, then Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, three. But the Buddha mentioned in Nirvana Sutra and in many other, again and again, there are no three yana. There is only one yana. And one yana is a Mahayana. And apart from there are not three refugees that you take: Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. There is only one refuge. And what is the one refuge that you take? Is you take refuge from Buddha, and Buddha is a Dharma, Buddha is a Buddha, Buddha is a Sangha, because appearance of the Buddha is a Sangha, teachings of the Buddha is a Dharma, and the mind of the Buddha is a Buddha itself. That is wonderful. Here I would like to ask Jerry or Karma Chedupla, read 8 little bit and to you how far you can read, and hoping that you will hear English translation about chapter 8 about Guru Rinpoche. Karma Chedupla, he's gonna read English. His English is more understandable than mine. Chapter 8, and if you read a little bit, and that would be good.
Now, in order to propagate the Buddhist teaching according to the precepts of the perfect Buddha Padmasambhava, while there were 1 billion Jambudvipas adhering to the texts, here in this translation, the text is sutras, and 10,000 billion to the formulas, that's the mantras. And while it was the same with Uttara Kurus and the continents of East and West, there appeared one Jambudvipa that possessed both doctrines. In this land, where there were deeds of great benediction, after the period of the coming of the 5 families, there would be a dark period of 500 kalpas. Then, during the perfect age, successfully, there would appear on high 9 honored gods. There would be a king turning the wheel, and a Buddha, lord of the teaching of the metamorphosis body, an apparitional being holding the teaching of the body of fruition, a lion of the snows, a king of wild beasts, a great soaring Garuda, king of the birds, and Undumbara, king of the flowers, which would all appear at the same time. But the time of this king not having yet come, Narapati was famous for his devotion to good rules and to wisdom. He was made happy by the Dharma and protected all the living. Now, after 5 generations, the 2 doctrines were joined, and the land was immersed in the 2 doctrines. The name of the king who turned the wheel was born from the head at the foot of a palmyra tree. 129 of his descendants would obtain zeal for the awakening, for the perfections and paradise, through the teaching of the metamorphic body, and through strict observance, hope, and fear. The Buddha Dipankara, Lord of Substance, Kakutunda, and Raptorsheg, as well as the triumphant Arthadarshin, dispenser of joy. Having come in turn to the throne, made the wheel of the Dharma turn. If one recapitulates the 84,000 avenues of the Dharma, their list makes 12 parts. And if they are grouped again, there is the triple basket. The area to be converted is the world of change. The teachings of the body of fruition constitute the fruit. Only Dharma constitutes certainty. Madhyamantara delivering the formulas, and Yashothara the guru, up to the time of the king Arindama, directed the conversion. The inconceivable tantric canon, which is as much exoteric as esoteric. The approximately 1,000 or the 25,000 works, and the 18 tantras and 7 traditional sutras. When gathered together are the 3 yogas with which the area to be converted is penetrated by heaven. Now in the age of the triad in the city of Gandavati and of Magadha, 174,000 of dynastic descent, grandsons and great-grandsons of the king Pratatapani, were conquered by the perfection of wisdom and the triple basket. Owing to the possessors of the 2 doctrines, oceans of happiness, owing to the Buddha Vipassin, who overcomes the 10 offenses and calms the pain born of actions, thanks to Shikin and Vishvabu and Krakuchanda and Kanakamuni.
So that is the translation of chapter 8 section that I choose to share with you and me this morning. Now I will go through the original Tibetan version text, and some part I like to highlight. In other words, I would like to say, but basically, you already heard in English translation already. So the beginning of the chapter, lesson 8, it says to maintain, to keep the doctrine of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, or the doctrine of Buddha, Guru Rinpoche manifest. Guru Rinpoche manifestation of Guru Rinpoche and his activity is everything is in accordance with the Buddha and Buddhas. Buddha Shakyamuni is the one, because if there is a countless Buddhas in the past, countless Buddhas in the present, countless Buddhas in the future. It is just you and I have a little difficult to visualize or to see clearly, and to even bring into our concept is almost impossible. We are having some problems, because the problem is nobody force us, nobody put on us. We have our own defilements and negative karma of clouds surrounding us, and hard to see any direction, because it's all kind of not so clear. Is our own karma that is created by ourselves. It's so thick, it's so dark. And how we know this is if you try to see something, try to think something, you find a lot of limitations, you find a lot of difficulties. That is the boundary that did not allow you to go beyond that. It shows. But on harmful things and negative things, it seems like very handy, that they are always available in your mind, in your mouth, and in your physical activities, nothing but the harmful things. Without any efforts, we can do it. Just saying negative things with your near and dear ones, because that's all you are sharing most of your time and life. That. So briefly, it says the chapter 8, I just go through 1-2 sentences. So just like in a read, Zamling Sevataja means Jivataja is a countless universe. And then not and Zamling Sutra, according to Sutra, there is a countless universe. And Vajrayana, there's a countless Vajrayana teachings spread out countless universe, both in Tantric and Mahayana. Taking Dhamini, the Dhamini Sharnup, Dhamini Sharnup, Shardanup, Shar East, Nup, West. Timba Nidhi Chapa, Zambut language. Both doctrines are intact. It's only there is one universe. It's called Zambhavipa. It is Jyotinjakam, the Zambhavipa, the universe where we are sort of exist. Trahi Rabzo Lej Sapade. Trahi Le Rabzo auspicious and lot of good causes, cause and effect together that available in our Zambhavipa realm. Runga Chonte Munkar Ngabja Chong. In between Buddha teachings appear and Buddha appear, and then in between, then there is a called dark karpa. Many karpas, you don't hear Dharma, you don't see Buddha, you don't hear anything. And kalpas means aeons. How many? Countless kalpas. Here it says 500 kalpas. 500 kalpas. Each kalpa, we don't know how to count. That there is no activity of Buddha, there is no Buddha. And then Buddha appeared. It looks like a space you're going. Once in a while you do see stars, but most time you don't see any stars, just dark and karpas, like that. Tene karpa zodin jawala. Karpa zodin means a fortunate karpa. Mangu Kurve Yang the Flag Gochong. So I don't want to talk too detailed, but there is a nine manifestation of gods appeared. Kerjo Kurlu Jurve Jarpo, then Dharma kings. And then Turkutemba means the doctrine of Nirmanakaya held by one Nirmanakaya Buddha. Lunkutemba Zimbu Zuji, the doctrine of Sambhogakaya held by the one Nirmanakaya Tuko manifest from Zuchi, means born from miraculously flower. We're talking about Guru Rinpoche because he came from flowers. Guru Rinpoche, so then king of the line and all the birds, king of the bird is Chungten, the king of the Garuda maybe. Medo Jarpo Udam Varaya, king of the flower is Udam Varati. Teda Tunsong the Juaya, all of them manifested in the same time. And the same kalpa, same year, all of those appeared. And that's what they're talking about here. That's all. Now we recite mantra. Dupema Sideo Om Aum Guru Pema Sideo Om Aum Guru Pema Sideo Om Aum Guru Pema Sideo Om 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 Aum 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 Guru Pema Sideo. So now, next part is I'm still just page 85. I'm talking about Japan the Kanya Mahjong Te Chuje. Chuje Jego Gower Janjong Sutum Dan Shirap Yang and May Japo Shisa Tagwayan. So they are just letting you know that it looks like those who keep Shila precepts, those who have vows of precept and they keep an attack, then you increase your wisdom, but also increase your virtuous action rapidly because you have, it's like soil. If you have a good land, then anything you put there, it will grow. So yourself, your body, speech, your mind, it's like a good soil, good place to grow things. So a lot of practitioners that don't have any vows, but they want a great wisdom and great understanding everything. So it is almost like saying, I'm not gonna put any effort, but I want to go top of that mountain. And said, why don't you walk? No, I don't want to walk. I think that the other people will walk. I'm not gonna walk, but I want to go on top of the mountain. So the same, this is a bad example that I choose, but it's like saying, I want to go on top of the mountain. I want the Buddha's wisdom, compassion. But as far as the practice is concerned, I'm so busy. I have no time to do any of that. I'm going to just not practice anything, whatever it is. But I want the Buddha's wisdom. If there is, I can make trick to get that. This, what we want and what we do, absolutely opposite each other. And every one of my Dharma practitioners, my Dharma friends, you need to remember that you are contradicting what you do and what you want. Is that a truth or not? We need to ask ourselves. And when we say we are practitioners of Dharma, I understand, I hear you. You say we are practitioners. But do you have any clue in what way you think you're a practitioner? What do you really do? And there are 24-hour day, every day. And where is your practice? Other than doing a lot of mundane gossip, mundane activities, mundane judo. Judo is it's not only gossip, but it looks like you holding the whole world functioning. You tell this person is doing wrong, that person is doing wrong. It looks like you know all of them. And you are far from, you have no fault. Looks like the way you're talking, you have no fault at all. All the faults and mistakes that they are making, everybody else are making. So you want to correct that. So you are trying to talking and telling them what to do. And the Nirvana Sutra saying that in any case, even you look for 1 million years, you can't see any good reason that you are authorized to judging others. There is a one thing you can judge yourself. And this means the time is moving. Half of them done. Half. So anyway, what I am saying is Dharma practitioners, if you agree with me, of course, if you don't agree with me, I can't really do anything. But if you agree with me, if you want to do Dharma practice, my Dharma brother, Dharma sisters, the one thing you can do is don't waste your energy or time talking about others' affair, others' activity, other people's activity. The other people's activity, other people's mistake, fault, no matter how many lifetimes we're talking, we are creating more negative karma, we are not helping anything. If you see, if you want to help yourself and become practitioner, then think about your own fault and mistakes that we make, the practice that we do wrong way, and whether we are practicing or not, make sure you find within yourself Are you the practitioner, or are you the one who talks, but other than that, nothing? This question you need to ask yourself, and I need to ask myself, and I am with all of you. We need to find fault, mistakes, weakness, habit, tendency within ourselves. We need to spend time on that, and we need to improve ourselves by practicing Buddha Dharma. Even you can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour out of your confused activity. Confused activity means that most things we do is kind of repeat again and again, and there is no satisfaction much. But you think there is a satisfaction in mundane activities, it is temporary, and they can change. And that satisfaction can change because it's not permanent satisfaction that you create. You can't create anything because you are yourself is impermanent. How can you create something permanent? No way you can create a permanent because you are part of impermanent itself. Your body is a part of 4 elements. Your mind is everywhere. Can you find it? So this message is important message for me, and I'm sharing with all of you. If some reason we want to be a good Dharma practitioner, we need to find our own fault. We need to find our own mistakes, and we need to correct that, and we need to mend it. Means the word mend it means you fix it. Mended is the word there is called mending like you fix. If the house is broke, you need to fix it, mend it, or fix it, mend it. We need to mend it. So that in order to mend it, then recitation, visualization, and chanting sutra, chanting different sutra, or chanting remove obstacles, chanting wish fulfilling, Guru Rinpoche practice, all of those practices, not one time. How about 108,000? Just start with that. First you do 108,000 times. Then every day you do it. Because it's very easy for you and me say, you do this practice, you do that practice. But when it comes to ourselves, not even 10 minutes doing practice. So that is hypocritic. That is not a solution at all. So we need to use our resources and our energy because we have limited energy, limited time every day. So we need to use wisely Dharma practice and correct our mistakes. And we do not have any leisure time judging other people's fault at all. Judging other people's fault, finding other people's fault, we did that with a countless lifetime. And where is the result of any good result? There is no good result that you can show me. I can show you nothing except more confused, more problem, because we share more problem. It's like somebody is sick and we make them worse. Somebody already sick from karmic disease, and you and I making more sickness when we accuse, when we talking about other people's fault. Period. I hope you hear what I say. It's a big deal for me, hoping it's a message is something important for you. Sarva Mangalam. We are reading more where we start about Guru Rinpoche, chapter 8, life story.
Disdaining the saving means of view and action combined, the very powerful who in one life attained the heavenly goal, Dorje Samye Uso, the guardian of happiness, and Kali, guardian of the discipline, devoted to concentration, and the master Gundimat, with the supreme words, were won over by the calm diamond plain, the united precepts, the gathering of welcome ones, perfect supreme good, and the charm or the terror of the marvels which nail down evils. Now, in the city of Samantaloka, 790,148 men, grandsons and great-grandsons of the king Brahmadatta, received from Kashyapya, master of the Dharma, the triple teaching of discipline, of concentration, and of wisdom, through which beings are subdued. And there came the Guru Tabshe Yingjor, the master united plane of ritual and knowledge, who up to the time of King Karnin revealed the diamond vehicle of the supreme formulas. Now, in the decline of the age of discord, when Tabshe Yingjor had completed his lifetime, he was reborn under the name of Gautama, as the son of the king Karnin of the Aparataka. After a request to his father, the king, he entered into religion with Dagnak the seer. Then, seeing the courtesan Bhadra from the land of Patala with the libertine Mrinala in the area to be converted, he gave up his life. In the vicinity of Patala, Gautama made a house of leaves, and while he was living therein, there came a time when the courtesan Bhadra from Patala and the libertine Mrinala were buying clothing and adornment for their revels, their parties. Another man who had with them the wealth of $500 said to Bhadra the courtesan, "We will have some pleasure. Come." She considered it and told a false story to Mrinala. She had a meeting with the other man. Now the chambermaid of Bhadra told of the affair to Mrinala, and although Bhadra begged his pardon, Mrinala pulled out his sword and killed her. Then, to the cries of the maidservant, "My mistress has been killed!" everyone rushed forward. The libertine Mrinala, turning coward and without strength in the presence of his disgrace, threw down his bloody blade in front of the sage Gautama. He then mingled with a nearby crowd, which soon saw the bloody blade of the crime itself and cried out, "Devoted to the religion of the Buddha, he has broken his vows with Bhadra, and in spite of every law of the Sangha, he has killed her." And shouts arose. In vain, the seer Gautama, with calmness and solemnity, protested his innocence. When he had been tightly tied, he was led to the king, and as punishment was raised on the point of a stake. The master Molina, returning to his home, saw him from the road and approached him. "Oh, pity, what has this boy done?" he asked. "Master," said Gautama, "deeds have been accumulated." The master then said, "Whether you have caused harm or have done nothing, it is terrible." And Gautama said, "Truly, living master, if I did not kill Bhadra, may the body of you become the color of gold." And by this true word of the innocent, the black skin of the master turned golden. The master then became famous as the seer Kanakavarana, golden color, leader of gods and men, and the most splendid wonder. The master miraculously caused a rain to beat down, which on touching the body enveloped it in a fiery tempest, and it began to recall and vision the carnal love occurring in a miserable dwelling in another land and in a former time. As he remembered these two germinal spheres mixed in blood, they fell to the ground and became two eggs, which matured by the ray of the sun, burst open, revealing two children in a cane field. Then he spoke and called the people, and Gautama was removed from the point of the spike. And the king asked, "How did it come to pass?" But as for Gautama, he died. The seer Kanakavarana uttered his truth. If Gautama did not kill Bhadra, may the consequence of the act fall on Mrinala the libertine. And this curse reached, and the god spoke to the king and the crowd, executing the innocent and disappointing hopes. By such, prejudging the king does not comply with the Dharma. Since nothing happy is occurring for the people, they are alarmed at the market of Kusha. Wars, epidemics, and famines appear in the land. Disloyal men and bandits multiply. In this life mixed with good and evil, if we do what we ought to do, the Dharma triumphs. If we honor the wicked who do not follow the Dharma and condemn the innocent who do, the people will fear justice, and 100 miseries will beset them. Thus, those who are the criminals sow the seed of evil themselves, and at maturity it bursts open. Karni should ponder the results of his actions. In order to restrain evildoers, he will break their strength by terrible tests. He will tear out that inestimable organ, the eye. He will cut off the most noble member, the head, and affirming various sanctions, he will multiply frightful examples. Or he will control evil in body and mind by means of the laws of good. He will guard what is important and not give in to slander. He will make rectifications like a king guarding his land in justice. Unbelievers will believe, and believers will redouble their faith. In order to subdue the fierce, the evil, and the wrongdoers, the armor of bravery will be solid and the weapons sharp. If the earth is made to tremble, all in the vicinity, even those different customs, are reduced to dust. When the rainy season comes, harvests are abundant in the kingdom, and the signs of blessings are announced for all. And as for the illnesses of men and herds and other punishments, for what reason does one say anything about them, since through them the Dharma is revealed? After this address of the gods, the four regents assembled and said, Hero Gautama, you who illustrate the color of gold and 100 virtues, who are delightful to see, of beauty splendid for the eyes, you make 10 billion gods rejoice. Always you will obtain a body, the sight of which brings joy. And during 99 times 1,000 billion pure aeons, you will be emperor. Behold the land where the sword will come. Thus speaking, the four regents hurled the bloody sword into the depths of heaven. May it fall upon the one who has killed Bhadra. Then, cursed by them, the sword became thunder and struck with lightning Mrinala, who fell dead. The lightning also struck the maidservant and her lover. And Gautama was raised to the abode of the 33 gods, up to Samantabhadra, master of the 3 bodies. And as for the king, he became prudent in the cause of justice.
Thank you. That is the chapter 11, and chapter 8, and it was, if you have a Pema Katha and Guru Rinpoche life story book, it's available, you can buy it, and then you can read it. But the important is not having too many books and not having too many statues or tangas. I think if you have one, and if you practice properly, then all you need is a minimum, but use the maximum good quality. Maximum you use the purpose, maximum use for purpose of. That's good, because otherwise you and I become spiritual materialism, collecting too many things, and the practice is very little, but the idol or the object of shrine room collecting too many, that's not good. Many Lama talking about that, they agree, if you're buying too many texts, too many statues, too many religious objects, that's not make you a religious person. Your mind need to be a religious person. And once your mind is a religious person, whether you have any holy object or shrine room stuff, or even you don't have, still same, it's good to go. He read really clearly, loudly. Thank you very much. And that is a part of the lesson 8. And I am not going to read in Tibetan too much, because translation is probably much clearer than how I explain. And I try to do my best, but sometimes it's not too clear myself. So probably it's not clear to you either. But if you have a question, maybe okay to talk about it. Thank you very much. So before we go to a question, how about reciting mantra? Om 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 So here little time for question answer, and then we'll do more. Those of you listening far away, or those of you are listening Dharma nearby, if you have a question, come to a microphone and say it. Questions should be related to your personal practice is better, because we try to do practice rather than academic university student, or some kind of course that where you study and you want to know the theory, or this person, but more like practice. So questions should be something beneficial for you when you meditate, or when you contemplate, when you practice, will be more practical. Any questions, please do so right now. Time is running.
Just before we started the class, Lamala, you talked about the Dharani practice benefits. Since we are doing as a Sangha, we are trying to attain 100,000. So I want to repeat that. I don't know if it got recorded. The benefits of Dharani practice.
The long Dharani practice is a very, very, I find in Nirvana Sutra, it's a powerful practice. It's also a beneficial practice. And many people try to memorize it. I recommend you memorize it, which is really good. Memorize it. If you don't memorize, put the sheet in front of you, and if you spend 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes looking at, and then, if you can't remember, open your eyes, otherwise recite, you can memorize it. Just like Nirvana Sutra saying, Tatpa Rinpoche and Do, the precious Nirvana Sutra mentioned that one spot and one cushion by sitting, if you recite 108 times with the Dharani mantra, you will be removed unlimited negative consequences one time. And also, they said there is a sign that you remove the unlimited consequences is in the Nirvana Sutra mentioned that if you taking a bath, or if you are walking in the rain, if you are crossing the river by using bridge, and those are the sign of purification of unlimited consequences. Those dreams come only during the practice time, during the retreat it counts, not just casual. And if you have 2 times that dream, that is a sign of there is a many list of signs in the Nirvana Sutra talk about. So one of them is if somebody offer you fruit, and a fruit is a delicious fruit, and if you dream you received the fruit, but also you're eating fruit, that means it says that you are seeing the fruition of your Dharma practice resemble the example is that fruit that somebody gave it to you. And also there is many other signs that is available, which is in the Nirvana Sutra. I recommend the Nirvana Sutra. You can download it in English version and you print out. I personally like to print out, so it costs $30-40 because it's so many pages. But we spend $30-40 for a lot of things and entire our life. So if you want to practice Nirvana Sutra and then you use $30-40, I think it's worthwhile. So TMC, our group, people have that copy of Nirvana Sutra, the one I am talking about. You should get that copy. It is not that you read one time and then put on somewhere and you can't find the next time. It is just a few pages you read each day and meditate the information, the message, what you read, what you're talking about, how you can put it into practice. You and I need to do that. Then end of 1 page, 2 page, 30 page, or 40 page, by the time you read half of the book, I guarantee you understand a lot of Nirvana Sutra, how it works with the karma, cause and effect, and how the Nirvana Sutra really talking about the message of connection between Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, how you make connection, ultimate level, relative level, all of them will be there. I recommend we all need to do good homework. If we don't do any homework, then what was the point asking homework all the time? We ask homework hundreds of lamas and never fulfill one lama's homework. So what was the point asking that? So I realize my little understanding is practice is more crucial than knowing too many things, learning too many things. It says that life is very short. You cannot learn all things you like to learn because there is no time. In the sutra, it says, in a plateau of Nepal or Tibet, midnight, you come out from your room outside, if you look at the sky and a night where there's no cloud, you will see countless stars. Especially those of you who've been in Tibet, you should remember. So if you look at the blue sky night, midnight, you will see countless stars. You are telling me, I want to study each one of these stars. Do you have a time and energy to do that? Because your life is a water bubble, temporary. You are here very, very short, because one of the weak and weak part of the Jambu Vipa, the universe where we are, is we maximum we live 100 years. Of course, that is also the human life. We're talking about that. When we say 100 life is maximum we live, eye of the God realm, eye of other realms, other universe, we are up here at the same time disappeared. And that is how we can see that. How can we understand that? Look at the water bubble. You can make water bubble and try to create a water bubble in the water, and how long it lasts and how long it stays. And that functionality of water bubble that you create is a similar way of functioning of our life in Jambu Vipa, in this universe. So our life is very short. So you say you see thousands, 10,000s of stars, and each one of you want to go, you want to study. So the wise men say, if you know one of them, it's a far more better than all one with countless stars and not have anything done, not knowing any one of them. So knowing one is a target, one star is knowing yourself. If you know yourself, you know everybody. If you fix yourself, you can help other people fix. If you see yourself, you begin to see everybody. If you don't see yourself, if you don't know your own mind, how simply can you know? How simple can you help somebody? And that is very, very difficult, according to Nirvana Sutra. So that is my answer. Recite the Dharani long one, and it's on YouTube. And you can create yourself with your voice nice, and then you can speak the way you want it. You can do that. If you have time to confuse and experience misery in your life, why don't you have time to create yourself with a few minutes with that mantra nicely, and then you listen yourself? It's just like a lot of good things that we don't really take action. In order, we don't do it. And a lot of bad things we just habit, we just do it without even nobody asking. That's what happening, sort of speaking. That does not mean I'm a perfect. I'm not perfect, but I am saying we need to work on, everybody need to work on ourselves to close to be perfect. And when we find a fault and mistakes, we need to see ourselves, what mistake I make, what promise I do, how many people I make happy, how many people I make upset. You need to think only yourself, see, look into your action, clearly see how you're doing. Then you can realize, I can't talk to anybody else because I have plenty of things I need to work on. Are you with me? Yeah. If you don't have fault, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want you free from fault. That would be the great. Anybody else? Question? The people listening, you need to go here and then talk nicely, but you can say, Lama, I have no nice in my mind. Then I will probably say, yes, give whatever you have.
Lama, during the last Guru Rinpoche,
Can you say your name and then you ask your question, sir?
Jace.
My name is Jay. Can you say that?
My name is Jace.
And what's your question, sir?
Last time you shared with us a Guru Rinpoche practice. And I was hoping today you could share some words about how we can accomplish that practice.
I thought I shared Guru Rinpoche life story this morning, but I could be wrong. Everything I say is talking about Guru Rinpoche mantra and benefits, Guru Rinpoche practice benefits. That's Guru Rinpoche life story, Guru Rinpoche's manifestation. That's what we are talking about today. So when we can't remember anything after listening many Guru Rinpoche teaching, still we don't remember anything, then what we need is put oneself into action. Means it shows that you need to practice and not thinking about finding new things and looking for new things, new name. A lot of people, new project is they get open up their eyes and they're excited. New project, but when they start, then it's old. Same thing is they don't want to fulfill. So then they switch into after some time a new project, different one. Oh, let's do the new one, and then so they switching, starting something and never complete anything. If that is a life story of yours, I recommend stick with the one practice and complete that practice and tell yourself, I need to accomplish something, not need to jumping, hopping, and always. It's like a countless stars in a Tibet midnight. And I want this star, this star. If you checking everybody and find out no connection, either any of the stars, likewise. They say in Guru Rinpoche get Pema Kathang, I didn't read that yet, but it says in Pema Kathang, 84,000 teachings available Buddha Shakyamuni and Guru Rinpoche. If your mind is not changing in Dharma, then even you study and read 84,000 Dharma teachings, it didn't really help you. You may be able to talk a lot, but reality, just talking does not mean you have practiced, you have experienced it. Lot of things we can talk about. This lot of professors and many they talk about not necessarily their practice and they realize they are not realized being. They are not perfect. They are not perfect. What they say is realized. They can't deliver what they say is. They just following somebody's words. That's not good. So I want Jay and I want everybody, don't ask any question, anybody, unless you see that person is like a Buddha, number one. Two, don't ask any question unless you're gonna put into action and practice. Because when we are in Nepal, I asked one question, the eminence Sanjay Nyingpa Rinpoche. Those of you with me, you probably remember. I asked practice advice. Practice advice. I didn't ask anything more than that. I didn't follow anything else other than that. Why I say practice? Hoping he will tell us something that for us to practice. And I want you, don't ask question. People already confused, don't ask questions, Dharma, because they can give you what they think is. It may not really help you. It may not be accurate. It may not be benefit. But what about you learn genuine Dharma and you put it into practice, and then you begin to see yourself result, and it work, and that will be your witness, means that is your experience, and that is the best one. Because I know many practitioners of Dharma brother, Dharma sisters, they don't have any experience, and they hear Dharma many years here and there, and they don't have any practice. That is not wise. That is very sad. So you and I gonna die just like cow and dog and cat, because they didn't really do Dharma practice. You agree and I agree. How they live, how they survive, how they're wandering around in the street. What did you do other than that? Entire your life, entire our life. If you and I not practice a little bit, then we are just wandering sentient beings. Nothing special about it, because we didn't do any special project. The special project is practice Dharma. Perfection comes from practice, and not perfection comes from just talking about it only. And save your energy, talk less. And myself, I cut talking for 4 or 5 years now. I talk only Dharma. I talk only midday a little bit. But the most time I cut it, talk, I don't miss anything. I realized I was talking many lifetimes. I didn't really benefit. I didn't really become very expert at anything. So it is fine if we don't talk too much and put into energy into recitation of the mantra, whether you recite it silently or loudly, depends on the way you are. You don't want to recite mantra loudly if people get angry, if you're acting like you're crazy, because they don't practice Dharma. So you don't want to do that. You do silent. But if you're really good practitioner, you can, your mind is in a practice no matter where you are, what you're doing. Nobody, because you choose to confuse yourself and you choose to distraction the other things that you bring that in your attention, your mind. So I recommend, in order to call practitioner, you and I need practitioner. We have to become part-time practitioner. If we become full-time practitioner, we need a part-time practitioner. You ask this question, how many practice, how many hour time we practice? Everybody ask yourself. And don't believe yourself, you're a practitioner, if you're not doing any partial time practice. Maybe you just appreciate the Dharma. That's all. And even you appreciate Dharma, that's far more better than those people think that Dharma is crazy. Already themselves is crazy. They don't think that they are crazy. They think everybody else is crazy. I tell you, everybody is crazy in a degree, different size. The size is different. But somebody knows oneself crazy, he or she is knowing Dharma a little bit now. So thank you very much. Good question, sir. Anybody else? Anybody else a question? I'll take one more question and we just stop. Any question?
Linda Sperling wants to ask a question.
Go ahead. Can you
Do I put it in
repeat?
the chat, or do you want to say it for me to repeat?
Hello. Lamala, can you hear me?
No,
Okay. So
sure.
it has taken me many years to appreciate Guru Rinpoche. Maybe because I have a natural aversion to what I call fairy tales.
Okay,
And
stop for a second. It's taken me many years to appreciate Guru Rinpoche. Maybe it's because I have an aversion to fairy tales. Please continue.
He can hear through that laptop.
And-
Can you all hear her? Oh, okay.
And for the first perhaps 20 years of Dharma practice, I could not take seriously a lotus-born being. It seemed very unscientific. However, after many years of saying the words, Oma Hung, Benzaguru, Pema Siti Hung, it finally penetrated. And it is clear to me now that it takes a great deal of practice to appreciate what Guru Rinpoche teaches. Somehow, what the Buddha teaches is the same, but is easier to understand because the Buddha has a natural birth. We know he's a human, etc. So overcoming one's own habits of skepticism is very difficult. Once you overcome some of it, the practice is more effective. This is just a commentary on from an old lady who keeps trying to be a good Dharma practitioner.
Are you finished?
I am.
Thank you, thank you. I think everything what you say is fine, is a truth. I think it's a beneficial. But Guru Rinpoche birth, lotus bone, miracle, I want to say something. Several places, even me, I find Guru Rinpoche birth is legitimate, great. Now, Buddha Shakyamuni talk about there are 4 types of birth, and one of them is Zuchi, means miracles born from miracle. So Buddha Shakyamuni, if you can relate with his teaching, he already said there is a miracle born. That's one thing. Number 2, Buddha Shakyamuni talked about 3 realms. And 3 realms are desire realm, where we are. Then there is a form realm with a 33 God realm, 33 types of God realm. Then there is called formless realm, where there is only, they call mental body or mind body, mental body, formless realm. And I'm afraid that the all 33 God realm is a part of a miracle birth. And that is a huge number there. And then a formless realm may not have a physically, what we call physical body, but they have mind-only body. So they also not born from mother, father. They are also just born miraculously or self-rising, how I say, maybe self-rising thing. So Guru Rinpoche case, of course, Guru Rinpoche manifest 100 million manifestations, and of course I have no clue which one we are talking about, which one and what kalpa or what there, because my knowledge, my wisdom not facilitate that. But the Guru Rinpoche, I do hear that he manifested countless times with a countless realm and turned the wheel of Dharma, Vajrayana, and Mahayana teaching, and he was also purposized with great Buddha. We are not talking about Shakyamuni Buddha. Way before Shakyamuni, before that, with a great Buddha, that Mother Buddha, maybe a great Buddha, time of great Buddha, the Guru Rinpoche manifestation will appear in many universe, and particularly in Jambu-Vipa, that where we live, the Jikinjakam, where we live, and then his activity is combined with the Sutra and Tantra all together. He is the holder of Tantra and Mahayana together, in no separation, completely there too. So Guru Rinpoche tells us saying, Padmasambhava, I have no father and no mother. I come here from the ocean, Mother Ocean. I don't possess anything, but I own wealth of like oceans. So as he there appears like that, and he proved at the time of when those kalpas, when he did exist. And therefore, in a future, they say anybody connection with the Guru Rinpoche, that he will be available all the time. Actually, see if I can remember the root text saying, Pinjong Kanto Majo Gonyario, Nayasalande don't you, Mayan, they dimmer in the La Pinjong. That's the 4 sentences. See, I can translate for you. Tepajinja Kanza Pumo means those are devoted who has a faith and devotion to Guru Rinpoche. Don't think Guru Rinpoche is not with you. I am always with you. I am always with you wherever you sit, wherever you meditate, wherever you sleep, wherever you are, I am in front of you. I am deathless. I am beyond birth and death. I am up here when you need help. When you call me, I appear in front of you. So what that means is our water bubble eye cannot able to see, although sometimes you feel like you see Guru Rinpoche, and sometimes in a dream, sometimes in a space you're able to see it, but sometimes you see your third eye. You can see through your third eye. Anyway, so Guru Rinpoche is saying, when you call me, I'm with you. It is you need to call me. It is you need to see me if you really want to see me. Is that good? Yeah, that's the sentences I added. But sholoka, I added there. One, maybe, anybody ready to ask question, or we can just reduce here? Okay, I think we can stop here. I will, you can keep watching. I'm going to recite a particular practice on a Guru Rinpoche practice, remove obstacle. I'm going to recite, and if you with me, Samye Yadang po chong go je ko so wan de so me da za de so sang ba len je de ba sin je ba ka ju ta ba wo me bong den ga je zo wo jin ren bo ji yi jin je bin da de go je ko so wan de so sun wa je so sang ba len je de ba sin je Dragon Ba no lo bong dan chu jong so wo wo jin ren bo ji ji xin ju bin chu jong go je ko so wan de so ti de yong ro sang ba ren ji de ba sin ji la me ja ren je de de bo dan me ran ju me wo jin ren bo ji la de nan jian go je so one day, so me da ja da bo sang ba len je de ba sin je lo ka we ye jong po je xian gang la zhen gang da wo jin ren bo ji ka sang de ji je ba go je so one day, so da ye ma wang do sang ba len je de ba sin je de xin de ma wen ba ho gan wo ba men go wo jin ren bo ji so je sang je se je go je gu so wan de so pe ma wo de sang ba len ji de ba sin je la o ma de zeng gu de pe ma si de tang ne nye da za ge jiang de de wo ne za da le ne du zhe ro pa ne jin da ma mi ne ba de 永也没让咱姐姐看的，所以咱姐姐那样莫管咱姐妈来有。This practice is available in English as well as in Tibet. Guru Rinpoche mentioned his disciples will do this practice in a dark age, degeneration time, when things are turning into more chaos. Then this practice is a powerful. That's Guru Rinpoche hidden it, and then his disciple of the disciple discover it. It's already translated in English, and it's very short. So if you want to do, first do your own age. How many repetition? As many as your age. Then if you can do 108. Then if you can do more than that, then 108,000 repetition. During that time, if you have some experience, good or bad, anything, then you talk to me. Based on my teeny tiny understanding, I will interpret to you what that represents your dream. Sarva Mangalam. Sarva Mangalam. Sarva Mangalam. Sarva Mangalam. Sarva Mangalam. Sarva Mangalam. Thank you, everybody listening Dharma. If you Dharma practice and you show your interest, it encourages me, and I'm very thankful for that. And then we know that we are one by one kind of going to Devachin. We will also see you there if our commitment, our connection is pure. We will run into each other all the time. Sarva Mangalam. Sarva Mangalam. Sarva Mangalam. Yeah, so be happy and cause of happiness with you and let us practice. That's all I ask. Om Bengaluru Bengasedevo. Om Bengaluru Bengasedevo. Om Bengaluru Bengasedevo. Om Ahom 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 Bengaluru Bengasedevo. See you Sunday, which is tomorrow. Are they teaching?
Yes.
Tomorrow there is a teaching Lama D. Dorje. He may have a few Dharma friends and they may disappear sooner or later, but be prepared to deal with that. I'm not worried because I will disappear too. So therefore, nobody is permanent there. Everybody disappear one after the other. But then our eyes we disappeared. Reality we never disappeared. Many lifetimes we are always same there. life after life, until we become Buddha, then we all into one mind.